A lot of metal lyrics are sort of like pure escapism.
But maybe, do you know when you start recognizing certain frictions, that how to deal with it in
Yeah.
the early stage?
Yeah.
How?
Lay off. Yeah, if you see something that pisses you off and you mention it, another guy reacts violently, you have to pull off. And a person who's pissed off is never going to hear the words you're saying. They're never going to hear the intent of what you're trying to say, because you're never saying something to one of your bandmates just to piss them off. If you're saying anything negative, it's because you're trying to improve something that you think needs improving, you know?
Mm-hmm. So that's an important lesson that you've taken.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Just how to just mellow out. I'm a less intense person now than I was in my dealings with other people.
Mm-hmm. So you put it a bit more in perspective now, everything.
Well, older and wiser, I guess, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Happens to everyone.
Yeah, I was just wondering, yeah, you said that you want to get a message across to your band members at some point, but for you is it important to get a lyrical message across as well?
I try to have, for the lyrics, I try to have, because when we started, for the first record, for me, the most important thing was not so much a message in the lyrics, but that the lyrics are really catchy and something that's like fun to shout along to and just gives you that real heavy metal feeling when you hear it.
Fist bumps.
Just, yeah, stuff that is some real hell yeah kind of stuff. And I try to keep, now like obviously, we've tried to advance the band in all ways. So in the last album and the newest one especially, I do try to have like real topics in there and different ones. Not every single one has like some profound statement, but I just try to put interesting stuff in there that's like worth knowing about, you know.
Can you name one example of a thing that for your last album that was an important issue for you to get in the album or in the song?
Important issue. I don't know if I was trying, because I deliberately try to not be
preaching or
like, yeah, preaching or like time period specific political stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of bands, if they're trying to get serious, they'll start talking about like the Middle East or something like that is issue specific to like our time period, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or that was just an example, but you get the idea. I try to, if anything, the only time I've done anything time period specific was on this last album. The song "Enemies of the State" is about like the Joseph Stalin era Gulag camp, mm-hmm. and sort of like being taken there and forced to work and disappearing and everything. And but the theme of the lyrics in general is sort of reflecting sort of like the inherent problems with humans in different ways, you know.
But maybe not directly to. Do you think that the subject that you sing in there is still valid in a way today?
Well, yeah, because it's I mean, that's some, you know, that sort of total state control you know, didn't just come about overnight. There were steps to it, and I feel like, you know, certain little weird things I see, like how in London you're caught on camera 300 times a day. Okay, if the government there ever decided to start turning an evil face, the tools are already in place. I find that a little scary. Not that they seem to be doing that yet, but the system is in place. You know, it's like if you have a gun pointing at something, you know, and it's just sitting there, all you have to do is decide to decide to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's like one random example from modern times, or something that just like scares me a bit. But for the most part, I think anything that, if you study history, you know, anything that has happened, that there tends to be things you can parallel it to. Mm-hmm. And so like that, and also for me, that particular issue, it worked well with, the most important thing for me with lyrics, beyond like saying anything, is that it really matches the sound of the song that the lyrics are for.
Do you think that maybe then metal is in a way bound to a sort of rebelliousness, or doesn't really? Is that not a...
It can, yeah, I think for the most part, it's a lot of metal lyrics are sort of like pure escapism, mm-hmm. where, you know, you kind of live in this world that you wish you could live in, where every man is his own master and you bow to no one and you just live your life free and proud and strong and everything. And there's either that kind of lyric, which sometimes you get in like the fantasy sword wielding kind of metal. It sort of expresses that feeling. We're not really that. We tend to sort of, I guess, cry out angrily at how the world is not actually like that. I say it would be something that we do.